Welcome back, hunters, to Supernaturalist, the podcast where we uncover the lore, the legends, and the monsters behind every episode of Supernatural. Today I'm going to be diving into one of the creepiest, most emotionally charged episodes of Season 2. We're talking about Episode 7, The Usual Suspects. This is a ghost story in the purest sense, not just about death, but about justice as well. Trauma, and what happens when the truth is buried along with the body. And as a very special bonus, this episode features horror royalty herself, Linda Blair, the iconic star of The Exorcist. The entity haunting this episode is the ghost of Claire Becker. She's a woman who died under suspicious circumstances after being seen entering a building. There was no official cause of death, and the police assumed she had gone missing. In classic supernatural fashion, this isn't just a restless spirit. It's a ghost, a death omen, bound to the place of her trauma and driven by unresolved injustice. As for death omens in the supernatural universe, a death omen is a spirit or apparition that appears shortly before a person dies. A supernatural herald of death, if you will. It's often tied to how the original spirit died, and it's seen only by the person who is about to be killed. It's silent, unsettling, and unavoidable. They don't attack, they don't explain, they simply appear, and once they do, death follows. An example in Supernatural, in the show itself, a girl with cut throat in The Usual Suspects. Sometimes it's children, women, or shadow figures who manifest before a violent haunting. Sometimes they're apparitions that reflect drowning, hanging, burning, or other trauma. In the series, death omens act like the universe's way of saying, time is up. The veil is thinning, the reaper is near. Across cultures, death omens have existed for thousands of years, maybe more. They're believed to be signs that a soul is about to cross over, that a reaper or psychopomp is passing through. That's a new word for me. I have not heard of that. I'll have to look that up. And it could be a boundary between worlds that is breaking or weakening. Common death omens in lore, they're apparitions, like the woman in white, a black dog, a headless horseman, a shadow double, or a doppelganger. It could be sounds like knocking when no one's there, a clock stopping, a name whispered in empty air. As for animals, it could be owls crying at night, ravens gathering, a bird flying into a window, or dogs howling at nothing. As for objects, it could be mirrors cracking for no reason, candles going out for no reason, and photos falling from walls. Then there are dreams of seeing the dead. Now that one's interesting because I've had dreams where I've seen my grandparents. I'm still here. If you see funeral processions, if your teeth are falling out in a dream, or if you're being called by someone you can't see, these are all in dreams. Claire in this story was used as a drug mule. Then she was killed because she wanted to confess. After that, she went missing. She wasn't killing anybody. She was trying to warn people. And sometimes spirits don't come back for revenge. They come back for justice, and that's what she's doing. That's why Claire was there. She wanted people to know who her real killer was. And taken from a line between Diana and Sam. About a year ago, a shipment of heroin went missing from police lockup. And let's be honest, that means it had to be a cop who took it. Nobody ever figured out which one, but whoever stole it would have needed somebody to move the drugs, someone to sell them on the street, somebody like a dealer, somebody like Claire. Claire was terrified. She had been manipulated, she'd been pushed past her breaking point, and she was ultimately silenced. Now, her spirit remained trapped in the building where she was murdered on Ashland Street. Remember Dana Schultz? And she replayed the fear of her final moments over and over again to people who were about to die. Her manifestations followed the classic death omen pattern. cold spots, apparitions, poltergeist activity, psychological torment, and the reenactment of the trauma that had killed her. Her goal isn't violence, it's exposure. At first, Claire seems to be attacking people indiscriminately, but Sam uncovers the pattern. She's not actually attacking anybody. She's trying to warn them before they're killed. Claire tried to warn Tony and his wife Karen, and soon after, they were killed. So, how is Claire's spirit put to rest? Well, in both folklore and on Supernatural, a death omen can only be stopped when their Diana, who is played by Linda Blair, kills Pete, played by Jason Gedrick, because it's revealed Pete killed Claire, Tony, and Karen. In the end, as Diana lets Sam and Dean escape, Dean turns to Sam and asks, "Did she look familiar to you?" "No. Why?" Sam replies. "I don't know." Dean shrugs. "So, are you hungry?" Sam says no. Dean adds, "For some reason, I could really go for some pea soup." You know that reference. As for the special guest star, Linda Blair, one of the most exciting parts of this episode is the appearance of Linda Blair, who plays Detective Diana Ballard. For horror fans, this is legendary. I'm not a horror fan, but I've seen Exorcist. She is a legend. Linda Blair is forever etched into genre history as Regan McNeil in The Exorcist, the most famous possession film of all time. Her appearance in Supernatural feels like a passing of the torch from one generation of demonic horror to another. Her character is skeptical, grounded, and deeply human, a perfect counterbalance to the supernatural chaos unfolding around her. Now for the fun facts and behind the scenes. Linda Blair personally requested a role on Supernatural because she loved the show's respect for classic horror lore. There's real-world inspiration here. The episode draws heavily from real cases of death in custody, grounding the ghost story in chilling reality. It gives genre homage. This is one of the most X-Files style episode of the series, blending procedural crime drama with paranormal investigation. There's character growth. The episode highlights Sam's empathy for victims and his ability to listen to spirits rather than immediately destroying them. It's a trait that sets him apart from Dean's more aggressive hunting style. And the title meaning, The Usual Suspects, refers not only to police interrogation tactics, but to society's tendency to dismiss vulnerable people as expendable. And for my closing thoughts, The Usual Suspects remind us that some monsters are born from systems, not spells. Claire wasn't dangerous. A living, breathing human was. Until next time, hunters, trust the stories, listen to the voices, and remember, not every ghost is a villain. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and like and share with anybody you think might enjoy this episode. Thank you and have a great weekend.